So, a couple of weeks ago, I received a notification from Google stating, "Hey, we appreciate that you've been a part of YouTube Premium for a really long time, but we wanted to let you know that to continue our exceptional service, we need to raise our price." So, the family plan was like 22.99 or something like that, give or take, and now it's about like 28 bucks every single month. So, the price went up, yet I haven't seen any sort of improvement in YouTube whatsoever. Now, can the app change and adapt here and there? Sure, I guess, minor little updates happen, but that's kind of what we pay you for anyway. That's what we pay you to do. It's just kind of that's it. You remove the ads, and whatever money you get will pay your employees and all the other things that you have going on. So I always wonder, they increase the price on us, but what do they add? I remember when I first signed up to Amazon Prime, and we get Prime Video with that. Anyone here can correct me if I'm wrong, but back when they first released Prime Video, I could have sworn that there were no ads ever. Same thing with like Hulu. When I first had Hulu, I don't have it anymore because I just got tired of having price increases all the time, but every single time a new thing comes around, they give you like the world. They literally give you the world. Oh my God, you have access to all these movies and all these TV shows, and you have access to all these things, and it's such a low price, and there's no ads, and blah, blah, blah. And then a couple of years go by, and once they obtain a big enough amount of people subscribe to them, they basically change their rules, regulations, and terms of service. And then they make us pay more for less. That's the same thing that happened with Prime Video, for example. Prime Video, I remember I was signed out by my best friend from his Amazon Prime account because my kid will literally always grab the remote control and buy a bunch of stuff on his Amazon Prime. And he hates that. So he basically kicked every single person off his Amazon Prime subscription. I mean, listen, rightfully so. You don't want to deal with 101 charges every single month, and you're trying to figure out which one of your family members is responsible for buying a new subscription to, like, I don't know, MTV or I don't know, whatever subscription plans there are, or anything else. And so I was like, all right, fine. Me and my wife, we wanted to watch The Boys. So we sat down and we opened up Prime, and I'm signing into my personal Prime now, and we click it, and there's like 14 different ads. There's like a 2.5 minute ad in the beginning, and then you see while you're watching the video, there's like these little lines, like yellow lines or white lines or whatever, all throughout the video showing this is exactly when the ad is gonna play. And I see this, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm not gonna watch a TV show for a service that I already pay with ads. Like, it just doesn't make sense. So just to watch The Boys, I literally subscribed to their higher tier plan just to watch The Boys. And like, it hurts because you're paying more, but you signed up for this thing to not have ads to begin with. So now that they have built up their subscriber base, they feel like it's totally fine for them to charge an arm and a leg to remove ads. So they'll be like, all right, the basic plan that you have and you've had for years, it's good, but there's a better plan now. So now the basic plan will have ads because we need to, have this service. We need to maintain our level of service, but there's no maintenance or of any level of service. It's the same service. Nothing has changed. You guys can feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just overreacting here and I'm thinking, but getting a notification from Google about YouTube also blew my mind because in my mind, I'm like, listen, I've had YouTube Premium for maybe 2 years now, a year and a half or so, 2 years, and it's been the same. Nothing has changed about YouTube Premium. I haven't been given access to anything extra, and yet they're charging me about $4 more or $6 more, however much the difference it was. Why? It doesn't make sense why this is happening, other than the fact that these companies are exceedingly and, increasingly, I should say, getting more and more greedy because they see, hey, we charged super low premiums, gave a lot of service. Now that we have millions of subscribers, we can afford maybe to lose a few thousand due to a price increase, but we'll retain all these other people for a higher premium because a lot of people are going to be willing to pay that. Because at the end of the day, everything we have now is subscription based. I mean, just recently I went to buy a 5 terabyte expansion drive, and it was less than $200. 5 terabytes. Back in the day, that probably would have been a lot. I used to have like a 500 gigabyte, like, and it was like huge. It was like a really big. And, that ended up crashing out on me, and like, I didn't know much about how storage space worked or anything like that. But then I started thinking about it and I was like, wait, if I wanted to purchase 5 terabytes worth of storage from like Google, because I have a Google phone, it would cost me a couple $100 for the entire year. And that's not just a one time thing. I'll be paying a couple $100 every single year for the rest of my life until I decide that I don't need that 5 terabytes of storage anymore. And then I start to wonder what happens really when you have all the storage capacity maxed out and then you decide you don't want the service anymore. Does that mean all your stuff gets lost, or do you retain whatever is there? Like, I've never been put in a situation like that, and hopefully I never will. But I start to wonder, like, if I'm 29 years old or about to be 29 years old and I still have so many years left to live in my life, God willing, how much storage am I going to really need? And how much money are they going to make from making me pay them for storage? These kind of things happen with every single company that we can think of. Same thing with Uber. Uber came into the picture. They completely disrupted the entire platform of ordering a car service. And then shortly after that, they added all these extra fees. They changed everything. Now there's like Uber One, and you get special perks. And then like the fees on top of the car service just for regular. Then there's like a wait and save now, and then there's like 100 different car options that you can choose from, and each one is increasingly more expensive. And it's just like a never-ending cycle of how many fees are we going to endure until we sort of revert back to an old system. Like, I'm actually waiting for a moment, and I don't know if this thing exists, but I was like thinking the other day, I'm like, how cool would it be if we can have one big company that sponsors all the small companies? So for example, you pay one big company a subscription that will offer you Netflix and Hulu and HBO Max and ESPN and Disney Plus and blah blah blah, all the stuff like that you can think of in one package. And the same thing goes for like all the storage. When are we going to kind of revert back to all these kind of simple things where we have like a storage, like an expansion drive or something of that nature? We're always dealing with things in the cloud. And let's be fair, I doubt that any of those things are going to go away. But the concept of the concept at the end of the day is that they are trying to maximize the amount of money that they can take out of our paychecks on a monthly basis, for like proprietary in perpetuity. Proprietary, what a bozo. In perpetuity. So they basically are just like, hey, listen, you're bound to pay us a monthly fee, and it's going to be for the rest of your life. Like, literally until you die, you're going to pay these fees, and you're going to pay these monthly subscription fees. And I don't know how much longer people are going to be willing to take it, because at the end of the day, subscription fatigue is super real, and we are constantly seeing increases in prices and decreases in the value of those pricing. Like, literally, you're not getting the same value even though you're paying more. So it doesn't make sense. We were getting more when we were paying less, and now that we're paying more, we're getting less. None of it makes sense. It's all about greed. I genuinely think that these companies are super greedy. They don't actually care about their consumers, at least not anymore. Maybe when these companies first came around and they first established these brand new subscription tiers and all these cool ideas, maybe that time they cared about us and they cared about us getting a really good product for a really good price. But once people see that, hey, I don't need to charge this person just $5 a month, we could charge them like $25 a month and they're still going to pay it. And that's where we are today. Because what's going to happen in 10 years or 15 years from now, if Netflix and Uber and Hulu and all these other companies are still alive, they're probably going to keep charging us more, and they're probably going to keep giving us less. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I hope I'm not alone thinking this way, because I'm sick and tired of it. I wonder if you guys are too. Thank you so much, I'll see you all in the next one.